Hey y'all, it's gonna be another long day here. Well, not here because I'm not there yet. I'm still stuck in traffic. Heading to Austin and fighting. Today is it's Bad Bill Wednesday apparently that we
Use
are
the right two
fighting.
lanes to take exit 432, then merge onto Texas 130 Service Road.
Sorry, trying to avoid traffic. It is absolutely insane. I'm supposed to be in Austin in 15 minutes. That's when the committee starts, and I've been stuck in traffic the entire time. Anyway, so we got 10 bills today that we have to fight against that are terrible bills, including a red flag bill. If you are anywhere near Austin and you can get there today, please do, because it's going to be a long night. We're going to be there until, I guarantee you,
Keep left at the fork.
at least midnight, and it's 8 o'clock. It's supposed to start at 8 o'clock. So the way that these committees work,
Continue on Texas 130 toll south for 4 miles.
she's so pushy. The way these committees work is they'll meet at 8 o'clock, and then around 10 they have to stop because the House convenes and they have to get back onto the floor, and then the committees can't reconvene until after the House adjourns. And for example, Monday that wasn't until about 5 o'clock. Now sometimes it's noon, 1 o'clock or whatever, but Monday it was 5, so we were there until 1 o'clock in the morning hearing bills. Um, Here's the deal: we've got red flag laws, laws that exempt government officials uh, from having to get licenses and stuff. Not only government officials, retired government officials. So once again, the state is trying to make an us versus them exception because somebody was paid with your tax money, and so because of that, they should get special privileges when they retire. So I'm going there to fight that. Also, there's a bill that I would almost support, except in the way that they're doing it. And this is a bill that if you are subject, so obviously red flags are being heard today, but there's another bill that, for example, if you're someone that needs a protective order and you've got a protective order against you. So I think mostly this is for women. And like I said, this would be a good bill, except, and I'll get to the except. I think it is a good thing that if you are someone who is at risk of being a victim of domestic violence or violence, at an elevated risk, for example, someone who's being beat by their husband or wife, if you are at risk of domestic violence, especially as it relates to a divorce, a breakup, or whatever, maybe threats against you, there's a bill that would expedite your license to carry. Now, there's a much easier and quicker way and much more efficient and inexpensive way to do what this thing is trying to do, and that is pass constitutional carry. Because then, if a victim or a potential victim of domestic violence is in need to carry a firearm, well, you don't need an expedited license because you don't need a license at all, as long as you're not a prohibited person. So, first of all, that's what could solve. We don't even need this bill. Think of all these bills that we could just not even need if we just passed unlicensed carry. So anyway, that said, so the bill would require DPS to expedite a license application for someone who is an at-risk individual. That's a good thing, right? Well, the problem is that I have with it is that it puts a designation on at-risk individual. I don't like that. Why are we gonna? Why are we going to single these people out as victims of violence with a little? I don't want, if I have to hand over my LTC to somebody to look at, a cop or I don't want them looking at the fact that someone's trying to threaten me. I mean, some people might like that, but I don't like that. I don't think that's a good idea at all. I don't think it is either. I think it could serve to potentially victimize women, especially even more. Because then you get that, that male, I'm gonna protect you thing, and you've got these, and yes, they're probably gonna be cops. You've got this male ego thing that you see this license that says this is an at-risk individual. Good morning, Wayne Rogers. That this is an at-risk individual, and he might think he can take advantage of that. And anyway, so that's the first problem that I have with it, is that it puts an actual designation onto your license. I don't know many people that want that. And if you apply for an at-risk designation, there's no option like yes, you can or cannot put the at-risk designation on the license. The second thing I don't like about it is that it adds those people who have an at-risk exemption to the exemptions under 4615. So 4615 lists groups of individuals who don't have to comply with 4602 and 4603, which is weapons prohibited and places weapons prohibited. That's a problem. Well, first of all, it's weird because you have to get the license in order to qualify for an exemption that says you don't need a license. So it's very circular to begin with, because that's what 4602 and 3 basically say, is you have to have a license because it's illegal to carry a firearm. I don't think, even if you're an at-risk person, a gun-free zone, so-called, a gun-free zone is a gun-free zone. And I don't think that just because someone is a at-risk person of a gun-free zone, I think so. And so I don't agree with that exception either. I do agree with expediting their license, but they should have to obey the rules just like everybody else. If they don't want to go somewhere where they can't protect themselves, then they just don't go there. We're told that those places are safe anyway. So that's one of the bills that I support. I'm only going to testify on the bill. I'm actually trying to figure out if I want to testify on or against the bill, because I do support expediting, like I said, for at-risk people who have an emergency protective order against them. Those people who think that their significant other or an individual is going to kill them should be able to apply. Now, what I've got with me is a stack of letters that I've kept over the last 2 years. But a stack of letters still in the envelopes. I mean, they're opened, of course, because I had to read what they were. They're anonymous letters, but they are threats to me and my life. They are threats to rape my wife and my children. These are threats that I get through the mail. And they come from the DFW area. I think a couple of them came from Austin. And so I'm going to use that for several reasons. There are going to be several reasons why I brought these letters, because I anticipate today, especially during the red flag debate, some arguments about, and I have a feeling that the gun dense folks are going to be trying to push the whole McNutt-Bonin issue as an issue to fight against any of the pro-gun bills that are out there today. Now, here's a bad thing. House Bill 1149, which was from James White, would have cleaned up the license to carry requirements by removing the unconstitutional restrictions to carrying a firearm. And essentially what it did was it essentially said, as long as you were not a prohibited person under federal law, you could get a license to carry. So it
In
struck
1.5 miles, take exit 437 toward US 290, Austin.
it struck out the exceptions that you can't get a license. You cannot get a license if you're behind on your taxes. Did you know that in Texas? If you're behind on your taxes, you can't get a license. If you have not paid your child support, you cannot get a license. If you've been convicted of a Class B misdemeanor, or I'm sorry, a Class B misdemeanor or higher, you can't get a license for 5 years. So this got rid of all of that because Texas is actually the second most strict licensing requirements of any other state besides California. And that was pulled from this week's hearings by Pancho Narvaez, who is Bonin's henchman in the Homeland Security and Public Safety Committee, the man that Bonin tapped specifically to kill gun bills. That was supposed to get a hearing this week, and it was pulled from the calendar. We think it's because that Pancho believes it's going to be used to tack on constitutional carry. So what we're going to do is try and do a workaround for this and try and get this back on the calendar because that's an important bill. Next to constitutional carry, that might be the most important bill we've been fighting for this year. And we can't lose that. And we're trying to figure out why he pulled it. And we think we know, but I don't want to get public about that. All right. Let me get to some of the comments that I've read as we come up. I agree that you're not free and you don't have rights if you have to get a license to carry. So that's definitely true. Pay attention to this channel, by the way, if you haven't subscribed, and hit the notification bell. I'm doing a little trolling today. Normally I wear a button-up shirt, a bunch of OCT stuff today. But I'm going to try another tactic because I heard some humorous testimony on Monday. And there was a woman that was getting up there and she was obviously anti-gun. I mean, not even your typical butter. Anti-gun. Claiming to be an NRA member. She said, I'm a member of the NRA. Now, to be a member of the NRA, all you have to do is pay your $30 on the website. Boom, there you are, you're a member. Well, guess what I'm wearing? I'm wearing my Everytown for Gun Sense in America shirt today. And I've decided that I'm going to be, today, I'm going to be a member of Everytown for Gun Sense in America. And I'm going to support all the pro-gun bills and oppose all the anti-gun bills. As, of course, a member of Everytown for Gun Sense in America. So,
in a quarter mile, take exit 437 toward US 290.
Now, on
Austin.
the back, what I've done is I've altered the wording a little bit. You'll have to see that when we go live inside the hearing. But I've just decided I'm in a trolling mood today because I'm fed up with this legislature. I'm fed up with...
Take exit 437, then merge onto Texas 130 Service Road.
And I'm just kind of fed up with all the nonsense. And so I'm going to play their game with their rules and their tactics and see how that goes. So, that's going to be it. All right. Traffic's getting bad, so I'm going to go ahead and end this. And if there are any quick... Oh, yeah, let me tell you. So, News Now OKC down there...
Merge onto Texas 130 Service Road, then continue straight to stay on Texas 130 Service Road.
On June 1st, I believe, in Broken Arrow, Oklahoma. All right, we're going to be going up there to Oklahoma to support the fact that Rick Hubbard was arrested.
Continue straight to stay on Texas 130 Service Road, then use the second from the right lane to turn right onto US 290 West.
She's going to be very bossy here for a minute.
Use the second from the right lane to turn right onto US 290 West.
And this thing's trying to get me around traffic. That's why obviously I know where Austin is.
In a quarter mile, use the left 2 lanes to take the 290 toll ramp.
But we'd like a lot of people to go up to Oklahoma with us. We are going to get at least one bus, and we may make that bus start out at a central location like Austin in order to drive up there. So if you don't want to drive all the way up to Oklahoma, and then all you got to do is drive to Austin, and we'll get you a bus. We'll have a sign up and all that kind of stuff coming up for that, so pay attention. Log in and sign up for opencarrytexas.org. Go there, sign up for the email list, because we're going to send out through social media and through our email the Eventbrite page, so that we can, if you want to take the bus, you have to register in order to take that. And you'll have to kind of bring a ticket, because there's obviously going to be limited seats. But we'd like to get about 50 people at least on the bus. And obviously anyone's free to drive up there on your own time, or in your own vehicle, and be able to leave and come and go as you please. But that's something that we're going to do. But News Now OKC, Rick Hubbard was arrested for...
Use the left 2 lanes to take the 290 toll ramp.
For carrying an AR pistol. And the police, even though they recognized it was an AR pistol, still arrested him for no reason whatsoever. They ordered him onto his in the mud. They wouldn't let him move 4 feet. When he just asked a question, hey, can I just go on this? I'll get down. I'll do what you're telling me to do. But, I mean, I want to lay in the mud here. I don't want my guns to lay in the mud. So can I move over 4 feet? And instead of just answering his questions, and I know Rick. Rick is a very, he's a very calm, cordial individual. He's not violent. He doesn't scream. He doesn't yell. Doesn't use profanity. I've watched him, what he does. He's very kind. And instead of just letting him move 4 feet or even engaging in a conversation, the police pepperballed him. So they shot non-lethal rounds at him. And that's how they got him on the ground. And now he's facing, quote, obstruction charges. I don't know what the obstruction law is up there in Oklahoma, but it sounds like they need to be restructured. So just kind of mark your calendars for June 1st. I don't know if he put the information on the chat there. I'm pretty sure he did, but it's up in Broken Arrow, Oklahoma, which is up near Tulsa. I don't see the details. June 1st, 10 a.m. So it's gonna be an early day, obviously, because it's long. I know from where I live, it's about 6 hours from here to Stillwater, Oklahoma. And so I don't know how much further it's going to be. So it's definitely going to be an early day or a late night or something. And that's why we're doing the bus thing. So that way people can just drive in early, get on the bus, and sleep until we get there. All right, guys, I got to get going. I'll be back on in a little bit. I'm going to turn on the camera to watch the committee since I'm not there yet. But if you go to Texas Legislature online,